All right, we're gonna get started. We're building. Well, we're finished building this today. Uh, this is the Discipline 65% V2. I was able to complete most of it yesterday, which I did. I did stream it, but it was a big test run. Had a few audio issues and was kind of working out how to do it. And this actually it didn't look like this angle. I had this angle kind of over here on the right, coming down on me. So I'm hoping this angle works a little better. I got it right here in front of me. This is the farthest out I could have it. I try to include as much as possible in here, but we're low quality streams, so we make do what we have. So have here's our keyboard today. Yesterday it took me about, I think it was 5 hours to kind of get this far. I had a few hiccups as far as the keyboard goes. Soldering in all the diodes was pretty easy. That's what this is up here. And then the USB-C port, which is right here, actually I thought was going to be the hardest part. There's like, I don't know, maybe 12, 14 little tiny pins that you have to solder. And what made it really easy was a no flux paste that you attach on the bottom here. And so you can see it's right here is what I had to solder. So I got some big ones over here, and then this one was absolutely tiny. And I had to apply no flux paste. And then you take solder and put on your soldering iron, and then you just kind of drag it across there, and it worked out, I guess perfect because it works, which was great to see because that was like the biggest thing I was worried about. As far as some of the other parts go, they were pretty easy. I had one issue. It's kind of tough to see here, but this blue pin right here, it's got two shoulders, so it sticks through here. Hey Adam, welcome to the chat. Guess I'll have to hit you with that mod. But I had this right here. I kind of had two shoulders, and when it was going through the hole, and I went to go flip the board over, it looks like the one on the right kind of entered a little more further, so now it kind of sticks up like this. So it still works because you don't really need too much. You just kind of need to stick it in there and solder it for it to work. But that's just one thing I noticed. So you compare it. There's also one on the back too. That one's pretty good. And I tried to fix it by I didn't unsolder it, or desolder it, but I kind of tried to tweak it, and it wasn't really wanting to move, so I decided to keep it. And I don't think it'll be a huge deal because honestly, when the keycap sits here and it's in front of me, and I don't look at my, fingers anyway while I type, I don't think it'd be a huge deal. So, what else? Yeah. So then after that, after I got this whole top portion done, that was process number one. I had to install the metal standoffs, which will be an acrylic plate going over the top here that'll be clear, and then I also had to install the standoffs on the back as well here too. So there's screws on the other side of this PCB, and then these standoffs screwed into them pretty easily because there's also going to be a plate that's going to cover this. And then there's also going to be 3 acrylic feet, one big, one medium, one small, that are going to go on top. And that'll kind of be the feet and give it some elevation for when you type. And then after that, about 3 hours later, it was time to put the switches on and the stabilizers. So I had to do the stabilizers first. The stabilizers, I had them greased with dielectric grease. But then after I got them installed and I put keycaps on them, I went to go push down the left shift button, and it just didn't go back up. And so I was like, well, that is an issue. So I'm gonna I unscrewed them. I unscrewed the 2 unit ones, and then I left the space one just because I had no issue with it, and I liked how it sounded. It sounded fine, and it bounced back up pretty easily. So I just kept it at where it's at. So after I got the 3 2 unit stabilizers unscrewed, I kind of wiped the dielectric grease off and took out my the lube that I used for my switches, which I lubed earlier in the week, and ended up lubing them, put them back together, tested them out, and they sounded, they went back up. But then what I also did was I did the Band-Aid mod. So the Band-Aid mod is you take a Band-Aid, you snip it up into little tiny rectangles, and you're able to place them where this hits the PCB. So technically every time that you press one of these, the space bar, the plastic hits the PCB, which can damage the PCB, but also it can make it sound very clicky and make your keys kind of sound weird. So I went ahead and did that for all these ones, and because I didn't take the space bar out, I just decided not to do it there. And because like I said, I was kind of happy with where it was at, and having a nice big old clicky space bar I think would sound cool. So then after I did that, that took me longer than I thought it was because of the small hiccup with the grease, making my keys stick. I went ahead and put all the keys on, or all the switches on. So I put all the switches on, but then I realized that this plate, this is discipline here, as you can see, it's kind of sandwiched in between here. So this top plate, I didn't realize that I had to put that on while I put the switches on. So I had about up to here, all the switches on, and I realized that I had to take them all off again, put the plate on, and then put all the switches back on. Which wasn't awful. It's just you get almost done, and then you're like, oh man, I gotta redo it. So I was able to put all the switches on, and they fit pretty snug. So they're not soldered yet. So you can see it's very spiky here. All the there's 2 prongs, each here, one here, and that's where I'll be soldering. So I'll have to solder each one twice, and then there's actually one big foot, and then there's 2 tiny little feet on each of these that I don't have to do anything. They're the ones that are just kind of really shoved into the PCB, and that's what's holding them right now is these 3 right here. But they're just pieces of plastic, and they're switches specifically for PCB mounted switches. These switches I picked out because they're going to be quiet. I have these are Gateron blacks. I have Cherry MX reds right next to me, so I'm going to do a little pretty loud. And that one's like a Corsair keyboard, kind of red out of the box. And this one's custom to me, I guess you could say. It's not one of a kind, but certainly not too many out there that are like this. And the switches are lubed, so it's going to be quiet, but they're still similar linear switches. Definitely not clicky, blues or browns. So they go down without too much effort. And there's no tactile bump. It's just it goes up and it goes down. So that's what the plan is today, is to solder all the switches. We're going to apply the acrylic top on the top, the covering. We're gonna, after we solder the switches, we'll be putting the plate on the bottom here, and then we'll be attaching the metal feet. So it shouldn't be too long. I expect it to take me somewhere between like 2 hours maybe, to kind of get everything done and to make sure. And then once we kind of have that all on, I'll be able to put the keycaps on individually. So speaking of keycaps, here's what we're going to be putting on today. So I'm going to put this aside. So these I got off Amazon, which wasn't really what I was trying to do, but I needed something that was going to be decent in a short amount of time, at short notice, just because the keycaps that I originally was going to get, they sold out at KBD fans the day that I wanted to get them. So that was unfortunate, but it gives me time to kind of look for maybe something that I was really that I really like, and a couple new keycaps might come out in the future. So these ones were $39.99. So it comes with the base, and then gently take this out, It also comes up with a bunch of modifiers as well too, which is good. So I got a nice selection. Because my keyboard is 65%, so it's not gonna have all the keys. So I'll be able to kind of tweak, and it's got some color. But I was really looking forward to getting a like an all white set with some Japanese lettering on it. And with the whole shipping thing, overseas shipping takes forever now. So it was gonna take long enough if I ordered something already. But I think I'm just gonna wait anyway, and hope that when the production kind of starts for some of these items back up, I'll be able to get them at like a half decent price. I don't have to, pay aftermarket overpriced prices for some of these items. But I actually also got more keycaps in the mail today. This is how it came shipped. But these ones are actually only $10. And the difference for these, if I can get another bag. So these ones are going to be backlit. If you can see here that camera focus isn't going to focus, but it's obviously they're white keycaps, but the lettering on them is going to be see-through. You can see the light kind of shine through there. Right there, that's not a bad angle. And it's going to be like that for all of them. So they're pretty cheap. They feel cheap. They came in cheap packaging. And they're a cherry profile, for those who know what profile means. And I'll be trying to hydro dip these, because I'll have a ton of them. I think I can do some pretty neat stuff, and change up my board. Maybe give myself a cool escape key, or maybe arrow keys at the when I kind of get done with these ones, these guys. Get some music going. Let's see what we got. What are we feeling? My summer rewind. We'll do something pretty basic. Today's top hits. Get Turt. Alright, let's try this. Alright. Got some music going. Let's see, what do we want to do? Get this back in front of us, so I think we're ready to get started. I got the solder iron heated up, and I guess we'll get to it. Got quite an interesting setup here, so I got my camera obviously in front of me here, so hopefully I won't be able to. This won't be too difficult as far as bumping it or trying to get a good angle. Soldering's not that interesting, but I think it can be for those who don't know too much about it. All right. Gonna go ahead and just check, make sure it's good to go. It looks pretty good. All right, that was actually the first switch I've ever soldered before. If I say soldered or soldered, y'all know what I mean. check that switch is in all the way. Yeah, I gotta double check some of these switches. Not sure if they're all. Actually, there's like 2 of them that need to be checked. This is a tough thing to show, but basically each one of these there's a pin coming through, and there's a couple of them that the pins aren't through. So when I solder, I need to make sure that they're that the pins are there. Got the one out, so if you can tell, the one switch is actually completely bent. It's not a big deal. So glad I caught it before it was soldered. We're gonna get a special tool for this. So I need to kind of pry these out. They're in there pretty well, which is obviously good, but makes it tough to kind of get on. Got that one out. Another one. So the top row is good. You got that one. Oh, here's another one. Basically what I'm doing is just, what games do I play? Oh, I play Fortnite. So what I'm doing here is I'm just I'm taking this and kind of prying the switch off, because I realized that for all the switches, which is tough to see, but this one and this one, for every single one, there should be 2 pins kind of coming through here. And I noticed that when I put some of the switches in, that some of the switches ended up getting bent. So you can see the one on the left is straight and the other one is bent. Is that the new Tfue keyboard? This is not. This is actually better than the Tfue keyboard. This is the new Matt Cotter keyboard. Alright, I'm going to do a little recap because we went from 2 viewers to 5 viewers. So for those joining us, this is the Discipline 65% keyboard with Gateron black switches. They are lubed with Trubasi's 3203, and I've got Durock stabilizers that are also lubed with the same lube. And right now I'm just kind of going through and make sure everything's good before I continue soldering. I started to solder and realized that some of the switches weren't where they should be. So I kind of just need to go through. What's my favorite food? Man, that's a tough one. I say corn dogs. They're healthy. They're easily made. Throw them in the oven or the microwave real quick, and you can just put about any condiment on it. But you know, a close second is Life cereal. How are they healthy, bro? They've got corn in it. Corn's a vegetable, is it not? Is corn not healthy for you anymore? Aren't they fried though? Yeah. So are French fries. French fries are even better for you than potatoes. Hopefully that's the last switch. Good thing about extras. I mean, these ones aren't broken, but it's just probably not good putting bent switches in. Just trying to go through and see. Do one last check. Good, good. First row's good. Second row's good. Third row, all good. Fourth row. Oh, missed one here at the bottom. Can the next stream be a cooking stream? I'd watch that. Bro, maybe I'll do a Cotter cooking stream. My mom made cookies yesterday. Maybe I should have told her to stream. We'll get we'll do family cooking streams every Saturday. Cause what else are we doing? Alright. So I'm gonna do something that I didn't think I was gonna have to do. So the one switch, right here, I soldered it and then didn't realize that the switch wasn't popping through. So I'm gonna see if I can just press it through. Or, actually, no, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to desolder it. What kind of cookies? Chocolate chip. Vegan free chocolate chip cookies. Actually, they weren't because they probably had egg and cookies and milk in it. Ooh. Come on. Alright, let's see if that works. Bro, vegan free would be like hold that thought. Actually, you know what this is? I don't think this is even like soldered. I don't even think I need to do that. 1 second. vegan freeze is what? No eggs and milk? How about they were vegetarian cookies? Alright, what is this? So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Hey, we got it. Look at that. See, I was stupid. It wasn't even soldered, and I was thinking I had to desolder it. Rookie mistake. Alright. So what we need to do next, so what I could do is I could take all these and unbend them and put them back in, but we're not going to do that because I don't have time for that. Here they are. Alright, so I have my other switches, which are the same exact, except they are not bent. At least they should be bent. There you go, much better. Got both of the prongs. Alright, let's try not to bend it this time. What's gonna be tough is because there's like solder in this port now that I'll have to like see if I can desolder that or like do something. So I'm just going in here and there's a certain like orientation, so where this port and this port are, if that was helpful at all. That's where the two little prongs go. And it fits nice and snug in here. Now I can just make sure that that they're in there. I don't want to be too rushed with this, just to make sure that this one really doesn't want to go in. Alright, we're gonna put that aside. What websites are looking for keycaps? www.reddit.com/mechanical keyboards. Jeez. Can you just go in, please? Thank you. Yeah, Ryan, I just looked at Reddit to find out keycaps that I like, because then like people have like all their color schemes, and you like if you have like a white keyboard, there's a lot of people out there who also have an all white keyboard. So I was kind of able to find out which ones I like, and plus like those people are so more in tune with like keycaps and like group buys and. Even if you looked at like the Reddit r mech market, there's like people like always selling stuff on that, and that's a good idea to understand like what's out currently and kind of what you can look forward to, because there's always group buys going on in there. Some of these keycaps really don't want to. These switches don't want to go in. Oh, that's because I don't think it's on all the way, to be honest with you. try this again. Oh, like a glove. You low-key want an Artisan Sloth keycap. Ryan, your Artisan Sloth keycap is going to be half the price that you paid for your keyboard. You realize that, right? What you should do is get just these novelty keycaps that are kind of Artisan, but really aren't Artisan. They're just novelty keycaps, but I like to pretend that they're more than that. Because that one cost me $5, and like it looks cool and it looks different. So and I'm not sure if it'll match my keyboard, but I'm still gonna put it on anyway. I also want to get the matching shift key for it too. If I can find it somewhere on Mech Market, I'll get it. I meant to post the other day, because I think it'll only be like $10. And it's from Drop. But I'm on here. There, like the Artisan. If I do get one, it'll have to be like very, I don't know. It have to be very specific or very general. Bro, Adam, get out of here with your dumbass questions, bro. What's your favorite letter? M. Because it's the first letter of my name. I feel like that's gotta be anybody's answer. Does anybody have a favorite letter that's not the first letter of their name? Mine's Q. Yeah, you're lying. I know you're lying, Ryan. Alright. So I just gotta get this one. It's like an O with a tail. Alright, so an M is just like an N, but with an extra leg. Or it's bigger and better. It's supposed to be super awful. Did that work? Not really. Did that work? Ooh, it worked. Let's go. We only take W's here. Now I gotta put this back down. Somehow, why are people comparing their keyboards to spaghetti on the Reddit? I saw a post this morning. Someone had a wrist rest in a spaghetti. I thought that was pretty funny. I guess spaghetti comes in like different packaging and different sizes. So like, and obviously so do keyboards. And I guess people saw the comparison, and people are, I'm sure, very bored at home, trying to figure out things to do and going through their pantry and just find out which spaghetti they have is like their keyboard is probably the most entertaining thing they can do right now. I'm just gonna double check that all my switches are flush. Gotta make sure that the plate on it is gonna be, you know, touching the middle part of the switch. Switch on, yeah. I'm just kind of going in and making sure that all the switches are gonna, you know, stay in the same place. And because really, once I solder them, there's not gonna be much that I can do to change that. Looking pretty good so far, yeah. It's really, the ones in the middle are tough. Yeah, the ones here in the middle are tough because, I mean, the board is, the ones on the outside are fine. but we'll roll with it. We're ready to go back to soldering. So before I go again, let's just triple check to make sure that there's 2 prongs through all of the holes here in the bottom. Alright, we're cruising. Back to, so it took us like 20 minutes. It's tough. It ain't easy. But hopefully this will be pretty simple. Just gonna periodically check my work, make sure I'm doing a good job. So far so good. Keep cleaning my sorry tip here. Hey, Ryan or Adam, if you're watching, do commands, !1 commands, and see if you can figure out some of the old commands that we used to have. Actually, I had to change some to make them family friendly, if you know what I'm saying. They weren't awful, it was just... Hey, Nate. How we doing there? Thanks for tuning in. And did you have your tooth thing today? Your tooth extraction? Oh my man. Are you on the green beans, or the peas, or the corn, or the rice, or the ice pack right now? What song is this? Oh, that's a sarcastic question, I'm assuming, but it's Roses by St. John. No, it's alright now. Do they like numb it? Are you still in like the numbing? I don't know, what do you call that? The anesthetic, I guess. Yeah, is that what it's called? That's what it's called. Where you literally can't like move half your tongue, because they also numb that too. It's starting to wear off. Man, you gotta get those green beans on demand. So when it does start hurting, you can ice it. All right, we got the first row done. That was pretty painless, other than the hiccup in the morning or in the beginning. Might redo a few of them. Just to make sure. Yeah. I could probably put more solder on some of these. What PC you building on? Dude, this is the Discipline 65%. So we got 7 viewers, so every once in a while, I guess I'll give a quick update of what I'm doing for those who aren't familiar. I'm doing a custom mechanical keyboard build. This is a kit that I bought. So the kit basically includes all the things here on the top, the plate, the PCB, which is the bottom part that I'm soldering everything on, as well as a couple of the acrylic things that go on the front, and then the 3 feet that go on the back. So yeah, this is for some reason this is going wild on Reddit right now. This is like, I saw some dude, because like the kit basically went on sale like end of April, and it shipped May 1st, and I got this a few days ago, and I literally saw some guy, he got his in the mail, he built it, put like Zelios on it, like loot Zelios that he probably just had sitting around, and I think he flipped it for like $190. And I'm like, bro, you literally, like, this kit literally costs like $70. Zelios maybe cost like 60. You can make some like easy, quick money, doing that stuff. Yeah, and it's also some guy. If for those who aren't familiar with, this is the 65% version. There's also a 40% which doesn't have the number keys, and there's also a 10 keyless which has the function as well as arrow keys and the page up and page down towards the right hand side. And that one's called Mysterium. So that guy, he bought like, I guess, 5 Mysterium PCBs, which cost you like $30, and then he was selling the rest of the PCBs of the Mysterium for $25. And I'm pretty sure people were buying them because there was like 5 people in the thread saying PM'd. So I think it's pretty interesting. Like, just, I don't know why people are kind of going crazy though. Because what I'm trying to do after this is do the 40% build. And you keep my eyes on the keycap, what keycaps you got. So right now, I'm not proud of it, but I bought keycaps on Amazon for $30. They're the HK Gaming chalk. So they're like white alphas or white base, whatever you call it, with it's like some chalk modifiers. Do I normally do things like this? I don't normally build. I don't normally build keyboards. This is the first keyboard I've done, but I like getting my hands on some things. So I've done I usually do restorations of fountain pens, which is a super nerdy hobby of mine. So a fountain pen is like the old pens that people used to use that take ink, and I like using those. So I've got a little bit of collection of some old ones that I've used kind of before, and been really just trying to get my hands on go other things. Maybe I got so much time, so I realized that that one's pretty good. I got some time on my hands, so why not try to learn a thing or two. And it was kind of almost perfect timing when this build came out. Just the whole end of graduation. Hey, thanks for the follow, DX Imsky. Appreciate it. Yeah, for some reason it's super satisfying. I think even if you don't know anything about it, just to see it like kind of come together. And I actually spent like 4.5 hours yesterday doing this whole top part, which I streamed it, so you can look at my videos. But it's like that was my my dry run before I kind of do it, and that was like super boring because I went through I had a couple issues with the top pieces not working, and then I ended up messing up the actually put the switches on before I put the plate on. So yeah, so Nate, I usually try to do some fun things, and especially buying some old items at like thrift stores is usually a good way to do it, and I'll kind of like figure it out. And it's a good way to learn too, because you wouldn't normally go out and like Google, hey, how do I build a keyboard or something like that. Most people like to go out and just buy theirs, which is perfectly fine. I just the whole kind of custom build anything really intrigues me. Kind of finding something that's unique to you, and then I like being able to kind of tell a story about it. So when I, if you ask me, hey, what kind of keyboard you have? I'd be like, oh, hey, I have like this one, and they'll be like, oh, I've never heard of that before. Like, where'd you buy it? And I'll be like, well, I actually ended up, building it myself. And yeah, and it's still functional, and I kind of see myself using a keyboard a lot during the day in the future. So I figured it was a good time to buy a good one. And there's nothing wrong with the one I have now. I have a Corsair K63. It's a red backlit with Cherry MX reds. I ended up getting it for Christmas or my birthday, which is right around the same time. A couple years ago, and I, that one will be my backup, but and there's nothing wrong with it. But I think it'll be like something a little different. Kind of be fresh. So I used that one a lot when I had like my MacBook. I used to use my MacBook and a monitor. It's like a 2-monitor setup. And so I'd have my MacBook on a little MacBook stand, and then I can have my monitor on the right hand side, along with like I still have my mouse, which is like a nice SteelSeries mouse, which gets the job done. All right, let's see how we're doing. Add a little more here. It's my first time soldering switches, so I'm kind of making it up as I go. I thought this was gonna be super tough, but honestly, like I definitely see myself soldering more switches in the future. You still playing PC games? Hell yeah. We're on a huge Valorant run right now, me and the boys. So Sora GFX that you see here in the chat, it's Ryan. We're usually playing almost every night. I think last night was the first night I didn't play all week. And we got some other bros playing too. We gotta play sometime, man. Yeah, of course. I'm trying to get the guys back into Sea of Thieves, because we ended up buying the Xbox Game Pass for like $5. Right like after spring break, right when everything kind of got canceled and we got put in a lockdown. And we actually, I don't think we played since then. They just came out with an update, and it's a game that I think is calling me. You play Valorant with? Dude, if you want to come through sometime, I know we're in different time zones, so I guess when we play, but we usually play late, so if you're playing, somewhere between, 9 p.m. Eastern time to like midnight Eastern time, I don't know what the time difference is, but we'd love to have you, because we're always looking for like a 4th or a 5th. We can sometimes there's some nights that we have all 5 people on, but not everybody plays all night. So just gonna double check these switches again. Looking pretty good. All right, yeah. That second row is looking much better than the first row. That's for sure. Gotta get some more solder here. I got this whole thing of solder, and you bet I'm using it all at some point. I'll stop building PCs when or not PCs. I keep saying PCs. I'll stop building keyboards when I run out of solder. But all right, round 3. Let's go. Guess I'll clean it a little bit. You were yelling at a random. Bro, how come it's always the randoms that are awful? Like, I could put with like some good teammates, but they're like, I guess the randoms are always they always do their own thing. But sometimes when me and the boys get put with the randos, at least try to communicate with them a little bit. say like, hey, I need you to not do this, or I need you to not rush mid with a Spectre. This guy had the whole team trigger. You were just one fighting back. Bro, Nate, you're fighting the good fight. And then people are thinking that, like, Valorant is going to be the next League with, like, all the toxicity. But, toxicity is, about the people, not the game. Like, if people can just, like, chill and, like, understand that everybody's not going to go 30-0 all the time, every single game, then I think Valorant has opportunity. But but I think Valorant has been getting me a little bit triggered lately, just with all the running headshots that I've been on the receiving end of. Yeah, there's definitely some good people, some pretty chill people. I even have met some good people on the other teams that I've been playing. There was one game on, I think it was Bind we were playing on, and we were on T side, and I was always going B site, like every single round, and there was a Sova playing long, and I would kill him like almost every round, and I was like, hey yo Sova, go long again, just so I could kill you, and he was like, okay, but then he came out with his knife, and we were like talking back and forth like in all chat while the round was still going on, and then at the last round, I was like, hey Sova, do you need a buy? And he's like, yeah man, buy me a sheriff. And he's like, all right, I'll meet you long. And so I met him long, gave him a sheriff, he gave me a Bucky, and then we went our opposite directions. It was pretty funny. And I think then we played a game with him, I think, afterwards. So shout out to that guy. So he was being a good sport about it too. Then in between a couple of the rounds, the Rays on the other team tried to kill us. Man, throwing our games? I don't throw your games. I carry the team. Maybe we need a Valorant stat tracker checker on the stream. Show you how many 20 plus kill games that I've been a part of. Hey Matt, mom needs your drawing pad. Alright, tell Mary you want to come get it? It's in my room. It's my first mouse and keyboard FPS, but I feel like I'm doing alright. Really? First mouse and keyboard? I'm surprised, because you've had the PC for a while, so I guess that's interesting. Alright, my sister's gonna walk in at any point. I'm not sure what the stream delay is, but we're cruising. Just wondering, what does my mom need my drawing pad for? This is like a $13 drawing pad that I bought off Amazon for like Prime Day for like dirt cheap, and my sister has used it I think more than I have. She uses it for her like math classes, I think. All right, I don't think those solders were as good as the second row, but we're cruising. Row 4. Let's check my notifications. Mary just texted me nerd. Being the supportive sister. Yeah, you really just never tried playing on PC. The rig isn't really strong enough for streaming PC games. Okay. But at least you're able to like still play, because I mean, I know a lot of your community members are on Xbox, so not a huge reason to be streaming some of these beefy games on PC. I feel like Valorant plays. I like the way it's I come from like CS:GO, and so Valorant has the CS:GO feeling, but also the Overwatch feeling of the abilities and the supers and things like that. But it feels like every round's like super repetitive, versus sometimes the CS:GO rounds are very different every single time. Like there's always gonna be something different, and I think the maps are a lot bigger in CS:GO. I like to see some bigger maps in in Valorant. It just seems like once a round starts, you can literally be right next to the bomb site, and I think that's just not really where the fights should be. The fights should be, taking the site, not, trying to, just pick people off and, rushing in. So I mean, rushing is like a huge thing. You don't really see a lot of people rush in CSGO, unless it's Rush B, Psychobot. What did Ryan say? So I found Walmart sells keycaps in the cocktail liquor section. Do they really? It's not just like, is that just not like a one-off? Are they good keycaps, or are they like the same keycaps you'd find on Amazon for $5? That's why Walmart's starting to come. You can just find out anything on Walmart online. It's not even sold by Walmart. Yeah, man, if you don't rush in Valorant before, you got 2 or 3 flanking. Yeah, exactly. And just with, like, the abilities and things like that, like, it just seems like just about every character has a smoke ability or, like, a blocking sight ability. So you just block sight of, an area, and you can just run around and, you can get them. Because it seems like, like the areas between the T spawn and the CT spawn where you can push to a site is very small, so you can kind of decide that, hey, I don't hear any footsteps or there's no abilities going off here, so they're gonna be, at the other bomb site. Especially when not every single map has, essentially like a mid. I mean, most of them do. I know Bind kind of has one. But even like the area between Bind mid, where Hookah is, and Market, it's pretty short distance. Whereas like, you think of playing on Dust 2 or even Mirage. I think of Mirage is a good example of there's like a mid, and the distance between mid window and Mirage on Counter-Strike and like top of mid is massive distance. Like there's still room to like peek and run, and you can get kills. And there's guns that have the range to kill people. I just think that's what Valor is missing. So hopefully they're able to tweak some of the maps, or at least consider that when the game goes full release. But yo, Mary, if you're still watching, did you come and get my tablet yet, or did I just not hear you? Alright, we got the last row done. We're chilling. Looking good. Oh, I gotta redo one. Alright. Where was it? I think it was this one right here that I messed up. I know it's probably like impossible for you guys to kind of see what I'm doing, because it's either blurry or just super tiny. But I think it was this one. Alright, we're good. Getting too tired of being pushed by Raze? Yeah, the fact that she can kill you within a 30-foot radius of her rocket launcher, and her ability to throw a grenade, and the little satchel pack. She needs a perf, but I'm sure we'll see that in the future. So many people have complained about it. It'll happen. All right, Mary just came in and got her the drawing pad, so we're all good there for those who are curious. It's funny because she crawled on the floor, doesn't realize that she's not being seen. The only thing being seen is the keyboard right now. We're on our last row of soldering. Let's go. So the biggest thing about this keyboard that I was pretty hyped about was getting a custom cable for it, which was really going to make it one of a kind. So if anybody knows anything about custom mechanical keyboard cables, they can get pretty involved as far as colors and material and what kind of connector. your aviator cables. So after I get done soldering this one, I'll kind of give you guys an idea, but I also want to show you the issue that I had. Just gonna double check these zones. Looking good. All right. Yeah. So I actually had I went out and I purchased a DIY kit, which is mainly the way they sell them. Is you can buy the here, I'll just show you. So you can go out and you can buy kits of cables. We're gonna move this out of the way real quick. So this is a cable that I ended up picking up. They send you all the bare bones. So they send you the wire that goes in here. So this is a 5-foot cable. And then I got black paracord to go underneath it, and then I got white Tech Flex, which is like a plastic, hard plastic braided material that goes over top of the paracord. And so it's a USB, so this part will plug into my computer. But they send you this blank USB part along with black heat shrink, and then you have to take the wires, strip the wires, and then solder it for each individual one there. And so I think this wire is good to go. But what the tough thing is this is an aviator cable. So what this does, it's basically just a super fancy port. And so what you can do is you can have a shorter cable that plugs into your keyboard. And if you want to, you can just unplug this, and then you're good to go. And you can take your keyboard out, super simple. So here's the other cable, which plugs in here. Just want to make sure I'm doing this the right way. So that plugs in like this, and it screws on here, and it stays secure. And it's a nice big metal piece. So that this part that plugs into my keyboard is 7 feet. But the idea, what I was going to do, I was going to coil it into a little bungee, and it would actually end up being like 7 inches. It would be about, do I have a measurement thing on here? Oh, it would be about this big. So the coil would be about this big, and then the other part would plug into here, and then the USB-C part would be just about this big. But I went to go test it because my phone is USB-C, and I plugged it to my the USB port of my PC, and I got like a power surge, and I was like, oh, that's not good. I didn't shut off my USB port. So then I ended up trying to figure out what was wrong, and someone said there was a short, and I was like, okay. So I was like, I'm gonna open it back up. So the easiest thing to open back up is this, because this unscrews, and I can just pull this apart and see what I soldered there. So I realized that I stripped the wires way too much. There was about this much wire, and then the rubber sleeve kind of started. So when I soldered everything in and closed it back up, there was all this crammed in here, and they were all touching. So I was like, okay, that was it. So I made sure to eliminate that, and I'm pretty sure I did too. But then I went to go plug it back in, and I was still saying, oh, this my computer was no longer power surging, which was good. And but I plugged it in, and it just couldn't recognize the USB port. So I was like, man, what's going on? So I'm pretty sure it's one of these that I messed up. I have a feeling it's this one, because this is kind of loose, and I think the what do you call it, the solder areas for the USB-C is a lot smaller than this one. If you're not familiar with it, there's basically 4 rows. That's really easy to stick your wire in and solder it. This one, there's 4 dots, and you have to just barely tap it to get it on. So at some point I'm gonna have to open this back up, or I might even just end up buying another replacement of this one, cut it off, and just kind of start clean. Because like I said, I got 7 feet of wire to work with. If worse comes to worse, what I'll do is just end up not coiling it, and I'll just end up about basically cutting it maybe right about here, and then I'll solder the USB-C just about here, and I'll still have it sitting on my desk, and I'll still be able to unscrew it and unplug it. So bada boom bada bing. So that's one thing I was really looking forward to. I was hoping I'd have, because even though the camera looks great, It's white on black paracord.
お前はもう死んでいる
Granddaddy Knack with the one host. How's it going? How's it going, Josh? I was wondering if he was gonna host me and hear that awful noise. But I appreciate it. Yo, what up? What up? Yeah. So hopefully that chord. Man, that was loud. Sorry. I mean, that's the idea. I think that's gonna be my first host ever too. So that's the first time I ever heard it go off. So yeah, that chord, I was really hoping it would work because it would match my keyboard and everything like that. But it doesn't. That'll be another project. It's so loud. Okay, I'll tweak it a little and change it. I'll think of another noise to have it, or a song or something like that. I'm just trying to adjust my camera real quick. All right, so back to soldering. So we have just a few more to go, and then we're almost done. But Josh, appreciate you tuning in. Here's what we have so far. Most of this was done prior to the stream, but we've been kind of working out. We had a small issue with some of the pins on this. Yeah, it's a little bit frustrating because it's I think it's actually harder to solder the wires rather than some of the pins on this board, just because they're so flimsy, and it's tough because there's like the cord I have to strip, there's like the paracord I'd have to strip, and then there's the plastic Tech-Flex I have to strip too as well every time I want to try to shorten the cord. But I think in the end, like I said, it was nice that I had like the 7 feet of cord, so even if I cut off like a foot, like I'll still have basically 6 inches of coil in the end. So that's kind of, so hopefully, like I said, I'll probably get that sooner than later. Definitely when I get done this, maybe it'll be a this weekend sort of thing, because it's pretty involved with just having like the wire cutters out, having like the solder out, itself. And it makes a mess, let me tell you. There's all these little tiny things that you have to cut off. All right, last switch. Oh, and the other thing for the cord too, I was like, maybe it's just my computer because I had it plugged to my phone. So when I turn it on, when I turned my computer on for the first time to like NVIDIA, which is like an open source switch tester, and what you can do is you can take a pair of tweezers and short the holes where the little prongs go in, and you can test that it works. And so I plugged in a known working USB-C cable, and the little red indicator light went on too. And I plugged in my aviator cable, and I plugged it in, and it was like a really dim, and it was like it was fluttering. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna unplug that real quick, so I don't damage the board at all in some way. And so there's some power going through it, but it was definitely something wrong with the cord. That was just me triple checking. Did you lube your inks? They aren't inks, but they are Gateron blacks. I am too poor to own inks because inks are like $1 each. So that means I'd be spending like $70 on just switches. So instead I bought Gateron blacks off Novel Keys for like $18. They were pretty cheap. I wanted to get Cherry MX blacks, but everywhere is like sold out. But I think in the end, it was a good excuse to kind of save some money and kind of go with basically the equivalent. And I did it with Trabasi's 3203, I think it was. Yeah, it was Trabasi's 3203. Man, this camera is pretty shite. What's like trying to figure out? I think there is like the best, but I can't move it, any further, or else it'll be. I can't move my camera back, or else it'll be out. Oh, sweet man. Yeah, this one. Yeah, like lube is the hardest thing to get. Like some people are like, oh, like you lube your switches, or like, yeah, and they're like, okay, like how much like the lube cost? And I was like, the lube cost basically just as much as all these like switches. What's that one called? It's a Tribosi's. I'm trying to get it to like where it focuses. It's TRIBOSYS and then 3203. I think it's like the second or third tier lube. Like people think that Krytox 3203 0G or G0 is like the best one, but like in the end, like I was putting on I was kind of testing it out. I put like my escape key on, and I was listening to it. I'm like, man, this sounds like pretty good. And I'm coming from Cherry MX Reds with no lube stock, pretty hard sounding switches. So I think they're gonna sound pretty nice. And I was even trying my switches on my space key for some of the stabilizers, and it was sounding pretty good. Trying to switch some lube in the UK is a pain. Yeah, I feel ya. I think lube finding in the UK is hard. Keycaps, I think it's probably the easiest in Europe, because that's where a lot of them come from. Especially from Asia and Europe. 13 euros for 5 milliliters. Yeah, it's not easy. I think it was 3 or 5 milliliters. Here's what it looks like. It's got this like safety cap on it. So this was like almost, it wasn't filled up completely to the top, but this is how much I have left after lubing all my switches and my stabilizers. So quite a bit, and this was only like $13-14. This was like a place, I ended up getting it online, but they had it locally. So in the future, if I need to, then I might just email that guy and be like, hey man, like I ordered from you before, I live in the area, can I come pick some up? Because he only lives like 2 hours away. Alright, check my my notifications. Alright, we're all good. So yeah, we got all our switches done. So that's exciting. So the next thing I do is I think there's actually directions I'm looking at here. I'll give you guys a quick idea of what I'm looking at. So with the whole build guide, this is on the website. This is what they give you. They here's a guy who made it, Cozy Fan 2D, shout out. Here's his website. This is where I ordered it off of. So here's the Discipline. It's sold out. It actually cost me $70 for this whole kit, but that was including shipping. I believe he raised the price because it's been so popular lately. Like everybody's been after this keyboard. This is not what mine will look like, and neither will this. But here's the white version. So you see it's got the acrylic top here at the top, and then he's got the build guide, everything that you need if you're doing it all yourself. Here's like the supplies that he suggests is, if you're gonna build this, definitely go with the No Clean Flex Paste. It's like, I would, this keyboard would be destroyed without it, because when you do the USB-C port, it's tough. It comes with all these parts, everything that you see here, all the diodes, all the resistors, USB-C ports, all the screws and the standoffs, the fuses. It walks you through everything. It says, I got to solder 68 of these diodes all to the top. You do the Zener diodes, the resistors, the USB-C port. Look at this little tiny. It wasn't easy. So this is all the stuff that I did yesterday, and we just got done this here now. So we installed and soldered the switches. Step 14, if we're using foam, line up and place foam on bottom side board. So we don't have foam. The foam wasn't in stock. I probably would have picked it up because it was only like $5, I think it was. Yeah, he was only charged at $5, so I'm pretty sure it sits right here. That's it right there. I think it just makes it quieter, but like I said, it was sold out. Not a huge deal. And then we're at step 15. Wow, that's well complex. Yeah, it's not super complicated. It's really nice that this, that it kind of tells you, because it even tells you like some of these diodes. So like the diodes have a specific orientation. So there's these little black bars that go at the top, and you need to make sure. If I was building this myself, I would have just willy-nilly threw them in there and just started to solder. And all these resistors are labeled too, so you know exactly what you're putting in and like where you need to put it. So like the Cozy Fan 2 does a great job of making sure of it. So step 15, use foot screw pack. All right. So we got 3 of these and standoffs. So I'll switch back. So here's the foot build that it comes in. Like I said, everything's very labeled. So I'm gonna crack this bad boy open. So we're all done on the back. So say goodbye to the back. I know you guys have been looking at it for an hour now. I'm gonna turn my solder off. I think we're all done soldering. So here's the back reveal. Here's the discipline. It's got the name on it. It says Cozy Fanatootie 2020. If you can't really see that. I don't understand any of this. It seems really cool. It is super dope, man. I'm having like a lot of fun building this. That's why I kind of wanted to stream it. I was like, dude, like, what if I could kind of like show other people. We're moving this up here. Or if I could like show other people, this, because this was like something that I had no idea about, and I think there's a lot of things that not a lot of other people kind of know. Like they go to the store and they say, okay, I want a keyboard, I'll take this one, and it's $20-$30 or whatever. And then if they want to upgrade to like a gaming keyboard, then they're like, okay, I'll just buy one that's $60 or something like that. But there's so much more out there, and even some really cool beginner mechanical keyboards. Some that you need to put together, some that you don't need to be put together. This one is one of the ones that are pretty involved when it comes to putting together, because you have to do everything yourself. Normally all the diodes, which are soldered up here, are already soldered below or next to every single switch. So you could buy a keyboard, like a DIY kit, and you could just come and plug all your switches in, and you don't have to solder anything. Or you just have to solder your switches and put the keycaps on, and you're done. That's usually kind of how they go. But this one is open source, so, and I kind of explained this at the beginning of the stream. But all this is available online, so this guy makes it free for everybody. You don't have to buy his kit off the internet. That's just the easiest way to do it. He, makes it available at a pretty easy price. 70 is pretty cheap when it comes to the mechanical keyboard market. All right, so we want to insert smaller screws into holes marked black or white ring, depending on PCB color. So, here we go. So black or white ring. So there's 3 of them here. And install standoffs on bottom side. Like, we're doing, alright, so it's gotta be, alright, so it's gonna go like this, but I'm pretty sure these go over here. And there's little tiny screws. And then we install the standoffs, I believe. To bottom side. Yeah, okay. So this part is not gonna attach to the PCB. So right here is where the feet are gonna go. So there's 3 clear acrylic feet that span from here to here. They get smaller as they go on, and that's where the feet will come. That's kind of what gives the board elevation. And even all that stuff is open source. So I guess what I was saying is, you can go on GitHub and you can download all the files, which I've done and kind of looked at. And I'm like there's other sizes of this keyboard, the 10 keyless and the 40%, and I think it'd be super cool to build a 40%. And so I was gonna try to see how much like that would cost if I could source everything myself. and I think it would be pretty comparable to what he offers. But what you can do is buy it in like bulk, and you could save money, and you could build, 5 of these for the price. You could, if you were to buy it from him, 2 or 3 times, just because you buy more of them. And then if you wanted to, you could definitely sell those on websites such as the Mac Market on Reddit, or even like on eBay. I'm sure people would pay for something as cool as that. I got my screwdriver out here. That's a good fit. So we want to take the 3 longer screws, stack acrylic pieces. All right, we got to get the acrylic out. So we want to stack acrylic pieces for the foot from largest to smallest. So here's the cover. That's going to go on the top, on the front. And here's the 3 acrylic pieces. So we're going to go like this. So they're going to end up going like this on here. But first we got to take this off, which is probably going to be the hardest part. Oh, here we go. Alright, we got the first layer off. So this peels off. Almost peels off. ASMR? Maybe? Let me know. Do people like that satisfaction of peeling like a film off their new computer or a new electronic? Pog. Get a Creekasm in the chat. Craigasm. Alright, come on now, let's go. And the good thing is, this doesn't leave any like nasty residue. What emote is that, Nate? Never seen that one before. Alright, look at that. There we go. Boom. I feel like I should like... Hold on, I'm gonna get like a microfiber cloth real quick. Alright, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right. Plus, this is probably the last time that I'll ever touch these. Just have to make sure, like, I think this one's most important because this one's like the bottom one and everything else will be stacked on top of it. So got something, a little dirt there or something. Take care of that. Oh no, we're good. Man, Nate, you got all the emotes. You got an emote arsenal for that feeling. Alright. Turn this bad boy on. Cool. Next one. Why can't they make like an easy peel? Should you guys just Google all the, or just look through all your emotes to see which ones you could find for that? Alright, that was pretty easy. I'm gonna try not to touch it at all. Let me tell you, this is not a build for people who have short nails. Knackgasm emo coming soon, bro. I wanna beta test the Knackgasm emote. You let me beta test it? Do I get an exclusive look at it? First look. Alright, 2/3 of the way there. Yeah, I got you. Word, brother. was super easy. The smaller they were, the easier they were. Josh. Wow, Ryan, I know you're not paying attention because Josh's been here for a hot minute. Oh no, I touched it. Gonna have to clean it off. Alright, got all the dust off. Oh, that one like doesn't even go on. Alright, I can see the end here. So we're gonna stack acrylic pieces and we're gonna screw these three on. What's up with the TikTok music? Bro, this is literally Spotify top playlists. This is not TikTok music. And I don't know it's TikTok music because guess who doesn't have a TikTok? Guess who will never have a TikTok? No way. Yeah, dude, I don't have a TikTok. I'm anti TikTok. Bro, I have Twitter. That's the same thing. Except it's better. You don't get it? I have Instagram, I have Twitter, I have Snapchat, I have Facebook, and even on Instagram and Twitter I barely go on. Cause like nah dude, I'm a Twitter main. Put it in gaming terms. Alright, I got more screws. Facebook sucks. Dude, Facebook sucks. I am on board with that. Dude, Facebook I check maybe twice a day just to make sure I don't have any like notifications of, I don't know, birthdays or like, what else can I use Facebook for? Oh wait, I guess I posted on Facebook that I was streaming today. So anybody who's tuning in from Facebook, shout out to you for using Facebook. But that's about it. You check Facebook once a month, yeah. There's like no point in me using like all the things I see on Twitter, I see on Facebook like 3 days later. And like it's vice versa too. I saw that and muted my story posts. You muted my story posts. Alright. Whatever I post on Instagram, I post it on my story too. But whatever, bro. Nobody looks at those stories anyway, do they? Every single app has stories. Twitter's getting stories. Twitter fleets. Will I use those? Probably. Will everybody else use them? Yeah, they will. You don't have an Insta? See, I feel like there's different reasons people use Instagram for. Sometimes people use them to like browse meme accounts. But like, I don't really like that. I don't like memes on my timeline. If you're posting memes, bro, you're gonna get the unfollow. That's just about guaranteed. Like, I'm trying to see stuff about like your life, but without all the text that Facebook has, and you can't share things as easy. Like, Instagram's a happy medium of Facebook. Like, I still get to see pictures, but I don't want to see all that other, you know, kind of garbage that comes across your Twitter. There comes out your Facebook feed. Like, I can still see that you had a kid. I can still see that it's your birthday, because you probably made a birthday post. I can still see, like, major life events. Like, you went to somebody's wedding. That was, like, your third cousin's best friend's brother's wedding that you went to. So you're still going to post a picture about it. So why hear about it on Facebook and when I can just catch it on Instagram? Plus, I guess I don't have to see all that other stuff that people get tagged in. Like when people get tagged in a post and it comes up on your timeline and everybody else's timeline. You want to see you dab on the haters? What, on Facebook or on Instagram? Bro, people are just like, all people do now is just flex on every single social media. If that's what you're talking, if you're trying to flex on everybody, I need you to make a Instagram immediately. Because Instagram's like all, I like seeing people's personal lives, but not like every single detail about their personal life. But I guess that's why I like Twitter, where people can just, you know, you can still post pictures, you still post text, but you know, it's just a different social media culture on Twitter. That's why I like it so much. I'm pretty sure we got extra screws because I've got like a ton of extra ones. Oh wait, no, these ones I think are these ones for the front. All right, this is the last backing screw. So we're almost on the back. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's the reason why I think a lot of people stop using social media for, you know, they have a reason. It's just too much, man. Let me for the stream. Yeah, and see the thing is, Twitter is super interactive. You know, you can say hi in a tweet, and 30 other people can say hi back to you, and you can have a conversation, or, you know, respond to them real quick. Super casual. I guess that's another thing. It's pretty casual. Twitter is god tier social media. Yeah, I agree on that one. Could balance have community toxicity. Yeah, where you can still, you know, you can still look at the responses to internet. The internet's worst people. That's where you get all the toxicity. People responding to their stupid, you know, memes or whatever they decide. Hey, we got the plates on, boys. You miss MySpace. Bro, I was never in MySpace. We got some elevation here. Let's go. Alright, step 8. 18, not 8. Install the acrylic guard. This is the last piece of the puzzle, everybody. Is everybody ready for this? Do not over tighten. Over tightening can strip the screw threading. Tighten only until slight resistance is felt. Alright. Come on now. Don't do this to me. I didn't care about much the social aspect, but it was fun customizing my profile. Just, dude, it's all about that customization. I'm telling you. If you're trying to make a product in the future, just make sure people can customize it. That's big brain move right there. Yeah, DMX Ski, I wanted to ask. You said you're from the UK. Where about? So I studied there for 9 months, so I'm kind of curious to see if we were close. I have. I couldn't tell you where it is though, and I couldn't tell you how to pronounce it. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to embarrass myself. I was in Colchester though, for studying abroad. Alright, come on. I remember when you were international. Me too. Good times. Throw back. Now it's a war zone out there internationally. Every country's got the coronavirus. Mr. Worldwide. Yeah, man, Southwest near Bristol. I've been careful, to be fair, terrible accent. Bro, it's that Essex accent. The Essex boys. Yeah, dude, I never got a chance to go out to Bristol. It was always like freaking 60 pounds just to take a train from Colchester all the way to oh, come on. Yeah, it was like 60 freaking pounds to take a train from Colchester to Bristol. You gotta go through London, like anything, and then you gotta come back too. And it was like a 6-hour journey. So if I ever wanted to go to Bristol, yeah, trains in England are a joke. Dude, trains in America are a joke. least y'all have trains. That was one thing I was super stoked about. Was like the easiest. You could just book around the country without a car. If you want to do that here, you need a car. I mean, I live near Philly-ish, and so if I'm gonna try to take a train, I have to either go to Philly or you have to go to like a smaller train station and then end up taking a train there. But you still need a car. You could taxi, sure, but you can't just call a taxi and expect it just for it to be a few pounds to get to the bus station. You can't take public transportation. It sucks. Yeah, I guess the expensive thing too. Like 60 pounds is like tough for like going across the country, but you're going across the country. If I wanted to take a train to like, I don't know, I guess Niagara Falls or something like that, or like Upper New York, it would be like $100. And that's like I guess that's round trip. $50 single way. The train I was in the Netherlands. Double-decker trains. Dude, double-decker trains are sick. I think Germany has some double-decker trains. France, I think, had a couple of double-decker trains that went on. When I went to Disney World, it was a double-decker train. And everybody on the train was going to Disney World. Double-decker trains? Yeah, dude. You go upstairs or downstairs. They got, like, room for bikes. They got plenty of room for strollers, everything like that. We're like basically done the keyboard itself, so I'm gonna clear off my desk a little bit. I have like all my soldering stuff. Gonna unplug my soldering iron, move it out of the way. I've got like all this garbage over here. Dude, America needs to take notes and just make everything double-decker. You can fit twice the amount of people for like, just make your things a little bit bigger. Double-decker buses, dude, riding at the top. I never got tired riding at the top of the bus. We only rode at the top of the bus, except when we went to the grocery store. If you can go to the grocery store and carry back like 4 bags of milk and all the other stuff, and then carry it up the steps. Haha, might as well. We're gonna make things bigger. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna make things bigger, so why not make things bigger? We got some of the biggest structures in the world. Oh, I gotta install these little tiny feet. So why not make everything just twice the size? As president of the United States, if you elect me, I'll make everything twice the size it already is. Cheeseburgers. Double stacked cheeseburgers will now be 4 patties high. So a double cheeseburger is still a double cheeseburger, but it has 4 patties instead of just 2. Easy. Solved. Stonks. Alright, where do I install these feet? Is there a tutorial for this? Install 2 rubber bump-ons near the corners, evenly aligned. Place 2 bump-ons on acrylic next to... Hold up. Near bottom corners is evenly aligned as possible with wobble. I think we're going right here. These are the El Cheapo feet. You can actually buy like, if you could, another way to build this is to not buy this part. You can just buy 2 aluminum feet, and they screw on as well too. But sometimes the aesthetic is to get the 3-layered clear acrylic. All right, place 2 ones on the acrylic next to the left and to the right. So we want to go. Do you want to go here? Actually, I might go. I'm starting to get hungry and I don't want to eat with my tooth just being out. Dude, you you gotta eat, or you gotta drink your food from now on till your tooth heals. You could do what I did when I got my wisdom teeth out. You just eat pudding. I ate so much pudding. It was really like I don't think I can ever eat pudding like that specific kind of pudding ever again because I'll just get flashbacks to tooth pain. You could also you just gotta take like little tiny bites. Like I had my wisdom teeth out over Thanksgiving time, which is because the only time I had off when I was in school, and I would just eat like these little tiny strips of turkey, like the size of your fingernail, would just like nibble on them. Mashed potatoes, oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, that was the other thing I was gonna say. Mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving, that was the move. I think half my plate was mashed potatoes and applesauce and pudding. All right, so your discipline is now complete and ready for keycaps. Let's go. So today, for those who weren't here at the beginning, yeah, it was tough. Hey man, you know, Thanksgiving happens every year. Next year was just made it just as good. So here are keycaps. They are HK Gaming Dye Sublimation PBT keycaps. Full 108 keys with 31 extra modifiers. They were on Amazon for like $30. And so I wanted them. I wanted something, obviously, I wanted to have something to put on them when I first built it. I did consider just stripping all the keycaps off my Corsair keyboard and putting them on here, but that was going to look ugly. So these ones were probably the best looking ones that had the most kind of keys and modifiers. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to install our Team Trees keycap that I got on Mac Market for $5. Listen to that. Woo. And then we're going to go through the numbers. Here we go. I'm probably going to mess up at some point because the different profiles, and I got to remember what... see how this keycap... It's kind of hard to tell. This keycap is actually bigger than this one, but it's whatever. Yeah, so these ones, I had like an Amazon gift card, so I went and purchased something that was pretty cheap, and then ended up getting another set of keycaps that I kind of want to try to hydro dip. So I got a bunch of spray paint from for Christmas that I've been using to do some stencil art, and then I can use that, and these things are tiny little things. I can take a little thing and make some keycaps. And those keycaps that I bought to hydro dip they only cost me $10, and they ended up coming today, and they're super cheap. And if I mess up, I could care less. Yeah, that'd be super awesome. Yeah, I'm hoping they turn out well. I saw someone on Reddit do it, and they didn't look too bad. They didn't look fantastic, but they still, I think if you can kind of tweak it, and if I can come up with like a cool color scheme, then I can make maybe a cool escape key, or really do it for whichever row here. The end goal, the end game for now, keycaps, I want to look and get a English set where there's like where the E is, and then on the bottom right hand corner or below it there's like a Japanese lettering, because usually those ones are like all white, and after I put these keycaps on, I'll be able to see kind of what the keyboard looks like with all white to get a better idea. Something like something that's different, where I could say, I could feel confident being like, hey, this is like the only one in the world that has, it's built like this with the same stabs, the switches, and the keycaps. And they would look cool too. Obviously, that's the main idea. And and then those would be definitely a lot more money, but they'll last me longer. And I could always turn around and sell them at the end. at some point if I wanted to get something new. I'm not a huge fan of it's alright. I feel like the key's wrong. Maybe it's right. I'm not a huge fan of some of the colors on the outside. They're chalk colors, but I think when we get them all done, they'll look neat. I did want to go for all white, maybe all white and black, just because the switches are black. We got some kind of semi-clear housing on the switches. The stabilizers are clear. I was also looking for gold too, because obviously if you notice the standoffs and the screws are all gold, and then there's like a gold bar here at the top. The stabilizers are gold, and the text etched into it is also gold. So I was trying to look and see if there were like black keycaps or like with gold lettering, so gold on black, or gold on white, or if I could get like gold modifiers here. But the gold is a tough color because there's a fine line between gold and mustard yellow and some of those other kind of gross looking colors. Hello, is it? Oh, the shift button's upside down. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it was. But wait, no, this is the caps lock key. This is not the shift key. No, this is the shift key. Oh, I gotta get it on. Gotta get it out. Hold that thought. Oh, jeez. I have to get the screwdriver back out. Alright. Now, what key is this? Is this right? But this isn't right shift. Because this is right shift. Making me nervous. No, we're good. These are, remember, they're like soldered in, so they're not coming out. Alright, we'll come back to that. You know what? I don't know what key this is. Jeez. Because I'm looking through on the side here. And I'll show you guys when I get it out. But there's another caps lock key. Have I put all the letters in the correct places so far? Make me want to go look at your keyboard. Dude, my other keyboard just says caps lock on it. There's no symbols, so you always know that it's in the right spot. I'm trying to get a shift it's an entry key to match this right here. I think that would look super dope. I think if I get like all white and then get these two, they'll look pretty neat. Except the profiling I think is a little off, which is not a huge deal. You can't really, actually you probably can tell because the height is just not there. Because I could put this keycap on it. It'd be yellow, which matches the key, but whatever. And if I do get like an artisan keycap, it'd be right there. The yellow's throwing you off? Yeah, there's I'll see. I don't think there's. This might be the only entry key that comes in the set. Because that's too big. You can't see it. This is the shift button, but yeah, so I can't do much about that right now. So I'm saying if I can get one that's that matches, that'd be pretty sweet. Alright, so I'm gonna go to the bottom row. So we're to the space bar. It's a 6.25 unit space bar. That sounds pretty good to me. Make sure it's on. Cool. That's gonna sound super nice. Alright, so this is gonna take some, I think these are the right. these are the right sizes. So 1.5 keycap size. Cool, cool. And then these are 1.25. These are 1.5. And then we have arrow keys. So we also have the tilde key, which goes right here. So these are like the weird modifiers. So it's the same keycap height size, except, you know, there'll be a different row for here. So I'm pretty sure this one is going to be... Alright, we'll do arrow keys first. So we got up. Just to make sure the file, or not the file, the size is correct. Or the profile, that's what I was trying to say. Color keycaps are cool. Yes, they are. You just came at the right time, where I'll put the keycaps on. The color keycaps give it a little bit of pizzazz. I just got done saying how I wanted to try to see if I could get all white keycaps, or maybe some black with some gold on it, or looking to get some with some Japanese lettering on it. Would be cool. All right, so here's the shift key, right? See, look, this is you can't even see it. See, this is a funky key. So like, what is this? What is this for? Like, does that point down? Does that point up? That fits there, but then, but it's still two arrows pointing up. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, because what does shift do? I feel like it should be up too, but I feel like, then what about this one though? I mean, it looks, does it look right? I'm looking at my box. I'm trying to figure out what the heck it's supposed to be. No, that's not the caps, surely. I'm looking. Shift arrow into point down. Is it? Then. I'm literally looking at my box right now, and there's no other. Well, get this off. So I don't have it. No, I don't. You think I got it right? Yeah, I think, because I'm literally here. I'll show you what the box looks like. So here's the modifiers I've left. There's and I can't use these ones because my board's not fit for it. But like, that's what normally keycaps would look like. So maybe it does go down. But then I have this key. Casts arrow pointing up on some magic keyboards. So it must be right. Interesting. Yeah, because these are all like number keys. Here's the ISO enter key. Compare location of legends to that one. Are you talking like in the box? Because it would be like right here, where the caps lock key would be. Were they printed on other keys? Oh, like I could Google it. I was literally about to start typing on this one. I saw some KVD fans and see. Like they're like where they're printed on other keycaps, like they're in the top left. So I guess it's right. Most of them just say like caps lock. Oh, I mean, this one says, yeah, it's a picture. It says arrow points down. Okay, so it points. So y'all were making fun of me how I had it wrong. Like, here's this one. See, it points down. You know? So now I gotta freaking take this keycap off again. Why would it point down? I don't know. But then now it doesn't go like this. So that means it's this one. And I had that one on right and everybody said that it was wrong. What is that key? So it must be a left shift for like a... Is it a left or right shift? Is it a right shift? It might be a right shift. Split shift for ISO. That's what I was thinking. It's like not compatible. But now I'm starting to think that I don't have a right shift. So I'm thinking it's a right. It's a right shift. Is that not it? Cause here's another left. I think this is a left shift for something smaller. Yeah. It's not using right shift anyway. Yeah, I know. Honestly, if I could take this out, I would. But, I mean, can't really. Does anyone here use right shift? Mego? It's always left. Alright, so is it this then? So does that go like that? Before I put it in? It has to, right? See, there's another key. Fuck that key. Yeah, can we get rid of this one? And this one? Can we just take them off? Does that look right? Who said they didn't look right? I'm calling you out, Adam. I think it was you. How you use Windows key? I maybe use it when I have to like search my computer, but I don't. Yeah, I'm finding where that shift button is upside down. Yeah, the arrow goes up. Listen, don't believe me? Like this is right here. Yep, the arrow goes up. The shift button is upside down. I don't understand why the arrow's down. That's another day. We'll figure that out another time. I just need to know all my key switches fit. So then, I guess what keys do I put here? Because they have to be 1.5. So normally it's like Alt and FN. Yeah, oh, would it be Windows key? I mean, I could put Control. I could do that, or I could do, oh, actually, that might be the only thing I can put there. Yeah, it's not the same size. Not a function key? Dude, I'm telling you, this doesn't have a function key. Here's because it's 1.5, right? So that's the size. It's 1.5. There's this one. You guys, I'm not sure you can see it. Right? There's that one. As far as 1.5 goes, that's it. Because here are the other modifiers, but they are 1.25. Isn't FN function? Yes. But isn't that what is here? Oh, that's Control. Oh, I'm an idiot. And Alt. So Alt goes there, yeah. Oh, I think it can be right Control, right? Yeah, it's another Control. So it is this one. Man, what a mystery. Who would have thought? I gotta put all these back. Alright, should we plug it in? Oh wait, no, we're still missing 3 keys. I lied. Delete is one of them. Is it this one? Bro, this is what confuses me. I have to be so complex and mess with smaller keyboards. I hope you spell G on your keyboard. Ryan, I hope your keyboard never gets delivered and it gets lost in the mail and you don't get your money back. Yeah, that's what I thought. Page up and page down. Alright. Pretty sure that delete key's kind of scuffs in there, but it's lower. Sometimes when you buy keycaps. Oh wait, actually, can it be this one? Come on, bro. You can't spell it if you snorted it. What? I've never done that. I never would try that, right? Who would do that? Who would do such a thing? Jesus, keycap portal they give you is god awful. I think that looks better. Page up, page down. Is it really, Ryan? Should you try that, Ryan? I'm pretty sure I can. These aren't lining up like they should. At least they don't look like it. Yeah, like this page up is way higher than it should be, but I should be able to figure that out and open up Via and change it to what I want to change it to. Because, I mean, who uses these keys anyway? Have you guys ever used page up, page down? The only time I use it is when I fat finger it and it goes to the bottom of my document or down on my webpage. Alright, I gotta clean it up. Like, if I get keys here, honestly, I would probably get more novelty keys or artisan keys in Premiere. Like, once my board is basically done. Alright, boys and girls. Let's see, where is this? Wait till you see this cord that I got for it. Are you ready for this? My what cord is it? My Aviator cord doesn't work, right? So I have this. I have other, I say USB-C cords, but they don't reach to my computer. So I went and did this. This is a USB male to USB male cord, and it's 6 feet. So I have plenty of room, and then I have this adapter that I got with my Samsung phone, and it's a USB-C male to USB-A female, and so I can plug this bad boy in here like that, and then it doesn't matter where I plug this in. The light goes on. Let's go, and we should be ready to rock and roll. Should I? We would like to. Uh-oh, USB doesn't recognize your device. Alright, let's try this again. If it doesn't work, I'll just use the short one. That looks cool. Oh, yeah, we're cooking. Alright, looks like what? Oh, we're good. So can we go to where was this? I had a super neat. I don't think it was. No, it wasn't that one. I found a super clean looking typing test. Now I'll be able to find it now that I want to use it. Oh, is this? Oh, here we go. Shit, it's cool. Yeah, dude. All right, can you guys even see it? Yeah, you can see my screen. All right, here's the final build. Discipline V2, 65%. Took me like 2 days to build it. Got the Hong Kong gaming chalk keys, temporary for now. It plugs in, it works. Shout out to everybody who came out here. Here's what my setup looked like. I have this headphone stand, and I just had this on here the whole time. So the next keyboard stream will be definitely more higher quality. Sweet, let's go. Yeah, now we gotta do a typing test. Come on now, you think we're done? Oh, this is the one I found the other day. All right. Let's see. I know if you guys watch any other keyboard streams, everybody drop what you think my words per minute will be after I get done typing. Let's do 100 words. Everybody gets a guess. You gotta guess what my words per minute are. I can tell you it won't be over 100. Especially 14 words per minute. Yeah. Okay. 1. Eagles fan 98. Eric, thanks for showing up, brother. At the very end. 91. Wow, you guys are very trusting. I feel like it's gonna be somewhere in like, I'll go easy. It's like maybe like 75 or something like that. I don't even know. But all right, ready? Go Eagles. All right. Oh no, I messed up. Slow? Ross is not slow, Ryan. This is probably faster than you. No, I'm choking. E2. You said 89. I also said 89. DMX, he said 89. Is he the closest? Or was Eric the closest when he said 1? Don't I get this man some new hands? What's wrong with my hands, bro? Ryan, I bet you can't type faster than me. You and your membrane keyboard. Get off my back. That was pretty good. That was pretty good for a first time. Only missed one. But man, I'm loving the sound of the keyboard. I'm gonna do a Trogs time. Oh my gosh. Quarantine. How did I not know that was you? All right. So here's my old keyboard. Here's the Corsair one. This is now the old keyboard. Right? Isolation just got a whole more entertaining. Yes, it did. Isolation did. Well, if you need me, I'll be just typing on my keyboard. So here's my old one. You can definitely tell the difference. Cherry mix reds. Put that one aside. And get around black's lubed. Man, I'm loving it. It's so clean. And it looks super dope too, and it's super small. Alright, I'm gonna take my phone stand out. We're gonna do one more comparison. We'll do size. For those who don't know much about keyboard sizes. Look at the size comparison. It's a little baby compared to it. No more, this. No more this on the side. No more function keys at the top, which isn't a huge big of a deal, because I really never use them anyway. I might miss this key, which is the Windows key lock, considering we don't use the Windows key ever. But you know, I lost the function keys. I lost all this, and this got moved over here. And we lost 2 keys over here, which is exactly what I was looking for. Quarantined Mamasso with the follow. Getting us closer to that 10 follow goal. So we're gonna put this back. We're gonna unplug this for the last time.